Hello? Okay, I think we've got audio. Can you believe it? Not only am I here, but I'm here early. So we'll just kind of hang out, let everyone kind of trickle in, maybe have a sip of our coffee, and we'll just wait. Let's do it. Oh my goodness! There's Margie and Miss Kim. Okay, I was just making sure that I'm here and everyone can hear me and everything's fine. This is what we did last week. We did filler blocks. Mine are cut and trimmed. Don't they look gorgeous? Look at those ghosts. So spooky. Okay, would I ever do this again? Probably not if I didn't have to, because I literally have 1 inch buffalo check like this. Good morning, Maryland. Okay, but it was kind of fun, right? It was something new and different. But I go, oh my God, could I have just laid down a piece and done it like a filler block? Look at the quilting stitches on this. So they're the pumpkins, and then these are the cauldrons. So much fun. And then these filler blocks just had the spider webs, but they're adorable. Love it. Love it. And then some of those. I did rinse out my bottles. And what I realized is, if you haven't done this yet, do not trim this super close, because look, it just kind of tore away. But I looked at that and went, you know what? I like to turn lemons into lemonade. And I went, ooh, spooky. All right, so I'm trying to decide if I'm going to stitch this again, because part of me thought maybe I'll stitch it again and I'll make it purple. So this is a maybe stitch out. And what you have to do for this one is do not, because this one said trim as desired. You want to leave, I'd say leave at least 1/8 of an inch near the edge. So because I'm aggressive about everything. So when I was rinsing out the dissolve away stabilizer, I was like rubbing super hard, and then I was rubbing that super hard, and then I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, I just tore it. So just keep that in mind. If you haven't done this yet, you're going to want to be gentle, and you're also going to want to cut it a little bit longer. The other thing I played with, so if you've done this and yours ripped too, because anytime I don't have to stitch it out again, I thought I could do a satin stitch down this edge too, just to kind of tack it down, and that could be really spooky as well. So these are the two. Do we need both of these? I think we're only going to need this one today, but I wanted to show you this one because this is what can go wrong. Okay. The other thing you want to do is you want to cut all those icky threads off the back. You don't have to cut all of them, but any of the ones that might come over the edge, you want to get, look how icky that is. Hang on. Is that the, I hope that didn't gross you out. I just like spit on it. And, okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but there's like, do you see all the white on there? So I think I need to rinse that off one more time, because I think that's some of the no-show. So I'll have to go ahead and do that. What time is it? We've got 5 more minutes. Good morning, everyone. Supposed to be 100. We're talking in Washington State. That is pretty darn hot. So, when I was in Korea, it was 80 degrees. It was like in the 80s the whole time. And it felt like 400 degrees because of the humidity. I'll take 100 degrees, no humidity, over 80 with humidity any day. So we did this in the first part of our sew along, so now they're ready to put down in when we do part B's. So let me put that to the side. And I decided, I'm still playing with the idea. I'm going to do this one, purple background. Keep calm, carry your wand. This one, purple background. I was thinking I would redo this label. That's the one that kind of came away, purple. And I was going to do this one, purple background. And then I kind of wanted to sprinkle some purple thread in here. And I was like, should I go lime green too? But you know what I love about just this is I feel like it looks really elegant and sophisticated. But I just can't resist a little purple, especially seeing Dana's. It was so beautiful. So I'm going to kind of sprinkle my purple in. So I did recut fabric for this one. If you are, that's what we're going to start with. 8.5 by 10.5 with shape flex on it is all you need. And then I did cut the fabric for this one too. So whatever you have in your stash that's going to look great, you can do that. Okay, first one that we're going to do also, and here's the spreadsheet. I did fix this spreadsheet too. I think I fixed it. Let me put this away. This is the bad one. I redid the batting again. I'm not sure it's perfect again. Should be better. And then I redid these. So if you haven't started yet, for the filler blocks, I gave you two different options. If you have a 9.5 by 14 inch hoop, you can do all 5 filler blocks in one hooping. And there's your like hooping. I know it's hard to see here. If you don't have that size, you could do the 7 by 12 hoop, and you could do 1 and 3, and then 5, 2, and 4. So there's a second option just for you if you want to. And then if you want to do the potions bottles all in one hooping, I did it like this. So that's going to be for the filler blocks and the potion bottles, and just like a little layout for you to use. This is what we're working on today. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to work on section 1. I think we'll be able to get through most of this, maybe to flying geese, hopefully. And then, maybe not though. And then also, we're going to do section 2. Whatever we don't get to today, I'm going to be filming and posting, and it's going to be homework. We want both of these sections done. I'm going to, I will press, trim, sew them together. So both of these sections will need to be done by next week. And shoot, I can't remember if I think we'll do it on Friday. As long as everything works out, it will do a Friday sew along. So we have 1 more minute. Let's go ahead and get started though. I am in my 7 by 12 hoop right here. These are my magnetic hoops, 7 by 12, and I already hooped up, so go ahead and hoop up. I'm going to take this over to the machine. The reason we're going 7 by 12, even though the design is 6 by 8, when you add the quilting, it bumps your hoop size to 6.5 by 8.5. So we're bumped out of our 6 by 10 hoop. You got to go 7 by 12 or 8 by 12 or, 7 by 12 or 8 by 12. So they're written down right there. All right, let's slide it on. Make sure you have a new bobbin in there. Mine's looking a little used. Here are my thread. Oops, let me show you this. Here are my thread colors. Somebody told me when I was like going through my treatment, they're like, I miss your squeaky filming arm. I need to oil it. I grabbed these purples. So, and you know what I'm going to start doing with the thread sets? I'm going to start, the thread sets we've been selling come with the plastic case. If you don't need the plastic case, I think I'm going to just start selling the thread set because it's going to be a lot cheaper if that's your thing. I grabbed these purples. I don't know which one's going to look the best, but Lavender, Viking, and Damson. You should have these in your stash. These are good purples to have. And then everything else is from the thread set. So here we go. We've got a lot to do. Sections 1 and 2. Here we go. I'm going to put a brand new bobbin in there because this one's almost used up. Let me grab my goodies here. Don't forget, you need your embellishment kit too for today because we're going to be doing ghosts. So let's go ahead. We're going to put in embroidery. Let's go to the pocket. And what we're looking for is Halloween 8. I have this is what I use. I just got it on Amazon. It's so fancy, right? And I leave this plugged in. I have it plugged into my upper port this time. So we are looking for pumpkins and potions. Uh-oh. What did I hit the button? Was it this one? I think that's right. Maybe I pulled on it. Okay. Background quilting. We're going to load our background quilting first. Background quilting. What I have on my background quilting are just the designs that are being used in this pattern. That's why you're not going to see like all of the designs all at once. So Halloween 8. Thread set with case is without case. Yes, we'll do thread set with case, thread set without case. And then we are going to go in, because it's a lot cheaper without the case. And do you guys really need that plastic case? I know some of you love them. You have them all stacked up and they look so beautiful. I am PES because I'm on a brother. If you're on a baby lock too, you're also PES. And the design we need is 6x8. Let's go ahead and load that. These are the cauldrons. Don't move that yet. We're going to add the keep calm. So we're going to hit our add button. And let's go back to my upper USB, pumpkins and potions, PES designs. And I've already forgotten what we're doing. Keep calm and carry a wand. Okay, I passed it. Okay, hang on. Ghost. Oh, here it is. Sorry, had trouble seeing it. Okay, go ahead and set. It's centered. Don't move it yet. We're going to touch embroidery. That's going to take you to the screen from which you stitch out. And this screen, on this screen, it combines your design. So now they're as one, so you can move it as one. And let's choose our hoop size. Right now, this square I have up here is for the 9.5 by 14. This button right here is your settings button. And this is where you can choose your hoop size. So you know where you can bump it up to. So I'm using my 7 by 12, which is right here. I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, check your settings. I'm stitching at 1,050 stitches per minute. If you're going at 400, it's going to take you a lot longer. This is your default. Don't worry, stitch at that speed. You're going to be fine. I do slow it down once in a while. Actually, when I slide my hoop on, it's going to slow it down to, I think, 900. And that's just an automatic thing when you use these magnetic hoops. It's either 900 or 800. And then make sure your embroidery tension's at 0. I never touch this. Before you start playing with your embroidery tension, just rethread your machine. Usually that's going to fix any problems. Make sure your foot height is at the default. That's where it's going to work best. Okay, I'm going to say okay. Let's go layout, move. I'm going to bump it up. Before I bump it up, I'm going to slide my hoop on, or else it'll let me bump it up all the way outside of my embroidery field. Oh, did I even change my bobbin? I did not. I didn't even change my bobbin, but it's okay. Here we go, all the way to the top. I'm going to go ahead and say okay. And I'm also going to turn on this button here where you go forward and backward stitches because we are going to skip some steps. Let's put in a color we can see. I'm going to go Mango Smoothie because that's so wonderful. Mango Smoothie makes me think of creamsicles and orange sherbet, which was like the only dessert my parents would buy us other than fruit. Okay, while it's doing this, I want you to grab your batting. Here's my batting. Your background fabric. This is the background fabric it calls for, but this is what I'm going to use. And I will stitch this twice because it's so cute you need to. I need my spray tip, which is all the way across the room. Spray the nubby side, which is the wrong side. Anytime you spray this, nubby side goes face down. Let me give that a little shot of spray. I use a dime spray tent in my KK Canold. If you don't like spray, you can tape. Batting's pretty gummy. I mean, it's pretty grippy, so you could just kind of lay it down too. And then here is my, oh look. So if I have a dark color, sometimes I'll piece my Shape Flex. These were 2 separate pieces, and I just ironed them overlapping a little bit, because on the dark fabric you don't see it. Don't do that on light colored fabric because it will shadow through. I only do that on darker pieces of fabric. And I'm going to center this to my batting. We are on borrowed time with Poppy. She literally was like just looking to destroy stuff. I think she just wants attention. Okay, let's skip some steps. Orange, tack down for the batting. Blue, placement stitch. Orange, tack down for the, so the blues are, the turquoises are your placement stitches, and the oranges are your tack down. Choose a color that contrasts because you're going to fussy cut to that. This is pretty much your cut line, but not exactly. So don't just cut on this line. Tickle that fabric. Ha ha ha, we're making me laugh. I just tickle it, and really I'm kind of pulling it down and top. I do have another embroidery attached, so make sure you fluff it so that, do you see that back there? That's my pineapple from Hello Sunshine. Fluff your fabric. And now we're going to do our quilting stitch. I'm going to choose a, I don't want to distract from the embroidered words, so I'm going to choose one of these, and ooh, I like that. But I'm going to go Damson. I had a feeling that was the one I was going to choose. So go ahead and put in whatever color you want. Look at your screen too. Sometimes I forget to fast forward, and then I'll look at my screen and I'll go, oh, I'm totally on the wrong step. But you have a little window, your preview window, that shows you what you're stitching. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch out my quilting. This is 3 minutes. And then let's figure out our colors. So I'll change my spreadsheet and I'll add some notes. What happened to that? Don't you worry, my darling. You want pizza box? I got pizza box. Actually, it's actually not a pizza box. It is a spray box. And this is from one of my snap hoops. And it's like such a good size. This is what I use when I'm doing like long strips, like the borders or binding strips or anything that's long. But usually I can fit what I need to spray in my spray tent. So I stick to that, and then I get this out. You'll see me get this out when we do like the border strips. And he just looks right in here. There he goes. I had my favorite box, which was, I think it gave people anxiety because it was so dirty and disgusting, but I loved it so much. But Momo trampled on it to the point that I couldn't use it anymore. Okay. And I'm going to make some changes here. So I didn't do sterling. I'll do a line underneath this where I did purple background fabric. And I'm using Damson for the quilting. And I'll add like a little line. But if you're using just the regular, the colors I put in here, these are the colors that it calls for in the book. That's what they had that work with the thread kit. Miss Angela, I got together your box of fun. You have a good one coming. Okay, and after we do this, oh, you need black glitter too. There's black glitter for the little hat. So get that from your kit. I have so much black glitter in so many scraps. So, centered, after quilting. So we're going to go here. Remove the plastic from your glitter. Let's get your glitter. And then we're going to stitch the hat placement line. So you need black. And I know you guys have something that looks like this. These are my leftover embellishments from other projects. And I did have it organized. I had like felt here, glitter here. As you can see, there's no organization left. So I'm just going to go into, oh look, here we go, black glitter. So let me get that. And then I should just get one giant tub, right? But I'll leave this to the side. And what do I do with my embellishment kit? I just hoard those pieces. All right, go ahead and put in your black. Black is beautiful, I love, black's not even a color, right? Like, is it like white and black? Black, or is it? I love black, and that is what you see in my wardrobe. I love black, white, and gray, and blue. I think it'd go in that order. Okay, placement stitch first. Look at your screen. It's showing you what you need. Hi, Miss Betty. Betty, will you need to get your little organizer sent out to you? I'll try to give that to Patrick and have him call you. Okay. Wherever it makes sense. And, you know, you can give this a little shot of spray too, if you want. Especially when it's like bigger. When it's a like bigger piece. Sometimes I'll just lay it down, but if it's a little bit bigger, I wouldn't really even say this is bigger, but I just want it to not wrinkle up. Where should we lay it? How about like that? Okay, here we go. There's so many great black glitters out there too. So this is going to be our tack down. Make sure you remove that plastic coating. Oh, do you want me to wait? I can wait until we have something else and then we'll send it. I'll just put it over in the, we have a spot where we keep our, to be sent. So I'll just put it over there. Okay, this says trim as desired, and anytime I see trim as desired, that's my cue to get my curved straight scissors. That's what I'm looking for right now. Okay, got them. I feel like these are essential. You have to have a pair of curved straight. If you use curved, then it cuts like little smiley faces, and sometimes you don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut around this. Did it want me to? Then we'll press probably. And I go about 1/8 of an inch around. I like a little bit of a border. What color thread did you use for the background quilting? I used Damson. D-A-M-S-O-N. I like a little curve so it's not totally sharp corners. Oop. Thread on the floor. Oh, can't even see that, can you? Sorry. I'm going to have a lot of homework this week, right? Last night I stayed at the store a little bit later, so I didn't come home and stitch. But hopefully tonight I can come home and stitch. And I'm going to work on my homework. I'm going to get I like getting my homework done as, like, I don't like thinking I have homework to do. All right. There's my hat. Even if it tells me it wants me to press it right now, I'm not going to press it right now. It does. I'll press it later. At the end. Fluff. If you have something attached or bigger pieces, fluff it. And now it wants me to stitch the hat detail and the star fill. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit start. It's black. It's calling for black. So now it's going to do some detail stitching. Here we go. It did want me to press, but I'll press it later on at the very end. Stitch the hat detail and the star fill. And then we're going to get our white thread, and you're going to stitch out keep calm and carry a wand. So get your white thread next. I'm sure I'm going to love the new one, but I sure do love this Luminaire. I think I could have my Luminaire and be happy forever, but, you know, I'm in the business. I got to have the latest and greatest. Are you doing the gray block after doing the purple? I am. No, I'm not going to do it. I'll probably do it at some point when I'm in my sewing room and I just slop it in there. I am going to do it, and I'm going to put it in the back of the quilt because I already have that fabric prepped and ready to go. And I love throwing a quilted block into the back. And you know what? Speaking of that, I thought I would show you how I make my backs. If I had time today, I was going to start on that. Do you stretch your muslin? I make sure my muslin is taut, but I do not stretch it. Like, I don't pull it tight. I pull it so there's no ripples in it. And sometimes there is a little ripple, but I don't worry about it because the muslin is so pliable. You can just press anything out. Hello, Miss Tina. Tina, you found us. Here we are. I totally am not a latest and greatest kind of girl. Like, that's definitely a Patrick thing. Not that I don't like the latest and greatest, but, you know, I don't have to have, like, the newest and greatest phone or anything like that. So I am going to keep this, and I'm going to stitch another one out. It'll go in the back. Okay, let's talk about how I do my backs. Let me grab one so you can see it. Okay, this is Red, White, and Bloom, which still isn't done. But these are all the leftover pieces. So I literally just grab them and start sewing them together. So that's what I'm going to do with this. So I did grab all my pieces. I have my PQ 1500 set up right over there. And that's where I'm going to piece everything. I press. I use like little pieces, I use big pieces, like you can see a little strip there, and then I'll do little pieces, big pieces, and I just work in sections, and I use up all of that fabric, and I love using it all up. I can't stand having all this leftover fabric, so I always put it in the back. Let me go ahead and fold that up. Someday I'll finish this. That thing is almost done. I just have to do a little more quilting on it. I think it's white now, right? Yep. Look at your screen. It says keep calm, carry one. You could do like a light gray. I think that would look spectacular too. But I'm going to just do white. It'll make it pop. But you know, it is really tempting to do like a gray. Would that be fantastic? I'm just going to do the white. I am a rule follower. Let's put the white in, and that'll make it really pop too. This is 22 minutes of stitching. What are you going to do for 22 minutes? We're going to work on the back. That's what we're going to do. If you use glow-in-the-dark thread for background quilting, do you need to slow your machine down? That totally depends on your thread. And you know what? I should be using glow-in-the-dark. Okay, just want to make sure everything's on nice and tight. Is this on nice and tight? Yes. If your glow in the dark thread starts breaking, you gotta slow it down. Not all glow in the dark thread is created equal. Some of it's thick too, so you might want to throw in maybe a bigger needle. You could also use a top stitch needle. I just ordered more sets of that Robeson Anton Moon Glow, so we'll have that in the store, and I'll show it to you in one of the live feeds. That stuff is fantastic. So the other thread I think that is like tip top is going to be the Isacord thread. The Isacord glow in the dark thread is $30 a spool, but if you want it, let me know and I can do it for 20% off. It's pricey, but it glows like it's its business. Like that's its job. I wonder if I can do this like this so you can see. Let me see. Should I put my filming arm over here? How should I do this? I'm going to transfer this stuff. We're going to need to press, cut, clapper. I need a presser foot. Hang on, let me find one. Or not a presser foot. I don't even have a... I don't even know if this one will work. I don't have a foot control. And there's no start stop. I think I took my foot control to the store. Hang on, let me look some more. Oh, here it is. Okay. Foot control. Haven't even been looking at comments here. That's what I did. That moon glow is awesome. I know. I know, Lynn. Can you believe it? I'm outside the box a little bit. You crack me up. I love purple. So, guess who came to town yesterday? We had the Free Spirit Educate. I'm not a rep. And Free Spirit is Kay Facet, Tula Pink, Anna Marie. Is it Warner? Is that like her last name? And so I did some buying, and we're going to get some really, really fun fabric in. But one of the things we got was some cotton shot and some of the stripes from Kay Facet's line, and it's beautiful. Okay, what happened? Oh, look at that. It's like a little bit shredded. Let's take a look. at the top of it. Yeah, that looks okay. Everything else looks good. Let's go ahead and... It was so hard for me to make a decision. So hard to... I'm going to go back some stitches. So I'm going to go to where it bumps over here. So I'm just going to go minus 10, minus 10, minus 10, minus 10. Ooh, were we supposed to have... Look at me. I wasn't paying attention at all. Oh, we have a lot to go back. Let's go minus 100. Sorry. Let's look up here. Nope. Minus 10, minus 10, minus 10, minus 10. We missed that whole top part, didn't we? Okay, plus 1. I am not sure. There we go. Let's try it there. Now I'm going to be way behind you guys. Oh, so it's not catching, which means let's check our bobbin. Oop, that's probably Patrick. Hang on a second.
Call from 77574.
Hang on one second. How can I help you? Patrick? It's this phone. There's something wrong with it. No, they're not even printing them. Hi. There we go. Back in business. Sorry about that. Oh, look at you, Heather. Telling me it was messed up and I didn't even know. Yeah, I was busy setting up, talking away. Okay, I'm going to take you out of here. I'm popping you off of this. Sorry. And we're coming over here. So here is... Uh-oh. Sorry. Here we go. Where's my autofocus? What happened? Autofocus is locked. Okay, here's my leftover fabric. So a lot of times I'll start with my bigger pieces, but you know we had all of these little itty bitties left over, right? I'm just gonna grab these. And then I have these. I just start sewing them together. Literally, I just start grabbing stuff and just sewing it. And I'll grab any combination of little, big, what is this? What I don't want to do is grab something that I'm going to need. Like, look at this. These all just go together so well. So these will all get sewn together. And I'm going to sew them together with a quarter inch. Sometimes they're not even totally straight. So I will use my ruler and I will straighten some stuff out. And, where are my clappers? Rulers. Large and small. And over here, got my machine set up for a quarter inch. So this, my foot doesn't have a quarter inch guide, so I use this little guide here. I'm the type of person, I really like a physical guide. So I gotta have like something that I can run my thread by. I like to piece with, I piece with Deco Bob. It's an 80 weight thread and it's super fine and thin. And what that does is it makes your seams not as bulky. And I don't care what color it is. Like I will use, you're not auto-focusing. I think I hit something. I'll use camel, dove gray, white. If it's dark fabric, I'll use black. And that's kind of all I use. So my camera is way over here. So I have 2 filming arms and one is all the way over here on the other side. So it's gonna be an angle kind of like that. So while I'm doing things like embroidering, I'll go ahead and piece. If you have the PQ 1500, if you don't, you should get one. I feel like that completes a sewing room. What I love about the PQ 1500 is it goes through everything. It is like so strong. My foot's up, right? Don't forget your take-up lever. This is your take-up lever. When you forget your take-up lever, that is when you get a bird's nest. People think bird's nesting is something wrong in your bobbin. It is this guy. You need to get your take-up lever. I love this too. Do you guys have this? It's that caterpillar light. The lighting on this is not great. Go. We're set up. I don't even know what's in my bobbin. Let's take a peek. Yep. Just like a white cream on bobbin. Sorry, my head's gonna be in the way. Gotta see. You're ready to sew. You don't even have to bring up that bobbin thread. I like to piece at like 1.8. I like it nice and tight. So here's 1.5. I'm going to go about 1.8. And I think I'm ready to go. My embroidery is just embroidering. I'm just going to grab 2 pieces and I'm just going to start stitching these together. My ironing station, I just set this up. This is my other unique table that usually goes behind this. I just kind of pulled it around. So I've got my iron and unique best press. I have my best press and clopper. I use all of those so everything sits nice and flat. Here we go. And I don't even, this is not going to be perfect. But I just start sewing everything together. I want to make sure I don't do everything because I want to have those like gorgeous pieces for my of the blocks that I'm going to backstitch this. But a lot of times I just chain these and I just sew right off. Do you hear the hum? How fast it is too? And then I'm just going to grab stuff and start sewing it together. So I'm just going to come over here. Let's pick out some other stuff. What goes together? Sorry. Maybe do this and this. That doesn't go right. Okay, I'll put this and this together. And then I'll make it a little bit taller. Do those go? That goes. I literally just start piecing together pieces that kind of fit. A little bit is running off the edge. I don't care about that. And I'll piece these 2 together and then I'll press them and then we'll see how they fit with something else. And I use every last bit. But why sit here, right? And I'll just go ahead and just keep sewing these together. Then I'll cut them all apart and then I'll press them and then trim whatever I need to and sew together some more. You shouldn't sew a long distance without fabric in between your feet, but I just kind of snug that under. What else goes? So there's nothing really fancy about this. And then I start laying it all out on the floor. Yep. That's how fancy I get. Well, I'll put these 2 together. Those are kind of the same. Also, those 2 together. What's this? That'll fit. too. And I'll trim as I go too. I'm not looking at comments right now, so if you've written some, I'm not looking at them. I'll check in just a minute. And I'm across the room from the microphone, so hopefully you can hear me. That hum just like makes me happy. Whoops! Did you see? Something broke. Let's see this bounced up somehow. Go behind here. This thread guide. You do have a threader on this. You gotta put your needle up in the highest position. Get that out of the way. There's a little red ball around here. Keep your hands nice and close. I check my bobbin too. Just make sure I have enough of a tail. Big head's gonna get in the way again. Okay, we should be good. I'm not even gonna back stitch. I'm just gonna go over the stitches. What was the next one? This one? Okay, do you have a cut button here? And then let's go ahead and press and trim. Iron's hot. What do I need? Oh, I need my my cutter. Where are you? I'm looking for my Gypsy Quilter chain cutter. Oh my goodness, if you could see the state of my room right now, it is bad. It's pretty bad in here. I don't know where it is, and I need it. Oh, here it is. Here we go. I gotta have it. I gotta have the things that I'm used to having, right? Sorry, the lighting over here isn't perfect. Here we go. Lights. Now we can just go ahead and pull down on these because you got a little space in between. That's all I did. I guess that's all I did. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little press. And then I do press to the dark side. So put your light side down and then press the dark side. I will give it a little shot. Best press. And I will clapper. Because you want everything to lay nice and flat. Next piece. Light to the dark. Little finger press. I'm a huge believer in the clapper. I know that my pieces lay flatter, they look better. worry about that. That I'm going to trim off. And then I just keep on piecing it together until I have big sections. I'd say for me to put a back together, depending on the quilt, takes me maybe, I mean, this is going to be bigger because it's 20 inches by 60 inches. I say it's probably going to take me like 2 or 3 hours to put this whole thing together. It might be shorter than that. Not long enough. Go with this. I'm not opposed to trimming some stuff off too. Okay, so we'll put this little piece together, this little nugget. Let's see what else we'll put together. Oops. Okay, and we can check in on our embroidery and any comments. Your thread is not. Look at. Oh! Shoot! Oh, right now we're threaded still. Okay, that was from before. Alright. But no go to the top. Filler blocks. It is not a race, Lynn. I think you've been working on quilting through the seasons, haven't you? How did I get so fouled up? Thought these were on Friday. Oh, you know what, Kathy? You are not fouled up. Usually we're doing them on Friday. Are you on my list? Because I think I emailed people to let them know that I was going to be doing this on a Thursday. I'm doing it on Thursday because we already had digital dealers scheduled for Friday, which means I wouldn't be able to start until like 2 in the afternoon or 1 or 2, and that gets really late for the East Coasters. So I just switched it to Thursday. But make sure you're on the list, and I think I sent out an email, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. You didn't get fouled up. You are totally in the right. I just switched it up. Okay, these little pieces that are sticking up, I'm going to cut them off because I'm going to use them. I'm going to use them. Should I move my microphone over here too? Hang on. I'm going to move this over so you can hear me better. Hopefully that's a little bit better. And let me trim off these little outies and I'll use them on the back of my quilt. I didn't get a notification. You know, I think I sent it out last week. I'm hoping I did. Did I send it out last week just letting you know that I would be here on Thursday instead of Friday? So I'm going to cut these off. We'll use these. I love the little pieces. I should do like a filler block on this because it's like plain. Maybe, did I imagine that I sent you something? I might have imagined that. Maybe I didn't send you something saying that we would be stitching out Thursday this week. Here's little itty bitties. Here's big squares. We'll separate them out. My goodness. Maybe I imagined that I told you we'd be working on sections 1 and 2. Oh my goodness. That's how my brain works. My brain makes things up. Yeah, and Patrick isn't going to be, he's only going to be in the store for half a day. So when he's not in the store, I like to be available up front. Oh, that didn't sound right. Did you hear that? Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and switch this over. You're not going to see because I don't want to switch my camera, but I'm going to go ahead and And you know, it might be time for a new needle. Honestly, I cannot even remember when I put a needle in. Uh-oh. Oh my God. This is when I pull and I shouldn't. Uh-oh. Let's hope that was okay. I'm going to kind of floss this through. Hope that everything comes out. If it is up, I'm going to give it a little floss. What's that here? You know what I'm going to do is I am going to do a little needle change because I can't remember the last time I put a new needle in. Now you guys, this is where I sit. You guys see it. I sit here because of Poppy. Oh my God. You guys are seeing everything right now. Momo will just lay on the floor, but Poppy wants to sit with me and she wants to like cuddle up. I'm looking for a Microtex. I'm going to go Microtex 8012 right now. Or actually, yeah, let's go Microtex 8012. I went this morning I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and let me get my, and then I'll just, I poke it through all the fabric. I looked for my, my hoop tightener tool and I couldn't find it. I thought it was upstairs in my bedroom. I saw it somewhere. Your needle. You should be hand tightening and then tightening with a screwdriver. If you're not doing that, it's going to shake out while you're stitching. And you never want to, you don't want to over tighten it either. Just like that much more. I think this is all under sewing right here, so I'm just going to continue on. There we go. Satin stitch, looks beautiful. Let's keep doing our other thing. What time will Digital Dealer, Michelle should be sending out an invite this morning. And Digital Dealer, I think it's at 10 o'clock. 10 or 10:30. Now, if you don't have enough of these scraps for the back, do you add borders to make it? Dog Olympic weight. If I don't have enough scraps, I've never not had enough scraps. But, you know, I also have a huge scrap bin. And so I'll add stuff in. Yeah, if I don't have enough scraps, I would just add anything that kind of goes. And like I said, any of my oopsie blocks, I'm just listening. Any of my oopsie blocks get put in the back. Yeah, whatever I can put in the back, I just put in the back. Okay, let's keep trimming. I'm going to cut off the little outies that are sticking out, and then I'll use those. It's so not precise either. That might bother you, but it doesn't bother me. I just square everything up as I go. And sometimes things aren't totally square. But nobody's looking, right? I'm not looking. See, I love putting big pieces like this in the back because it just makes it go so fast. And then I love little itty bitty pieces because I think it just makes it look so cute. Right now mine's on wand, so it's getting close. I'm gonna leave this big piece here. I love little strips like this. I'll use that too. Look at this big old piece. I kind of want to do my, those three, I'm going to do a couple of pieces before I stitch it all together because I want to be able to incorporate that. When I start doing this, I feel like I get moving and I do it pretty quickly. But we'll use this whole piece right here. Okay, so I have this. That fits because there's selvage down here that's going to get cut off. So I think that fits perfectly. So I'll sew this onto this side. Here's some little itty bitties. Hopefully this isn't making you crazy watching me put this together. Here are my little itty bitties. Sew this together, that. And then I'll put this on here. Okay, so we're going to sew those two together. Great. I'm just going to start grabbing stuff and sewing it together. And wand is almost done. Whoops, did it catch? Yeah. Sometimes you do have to pull your top thread a little long. Did that go? Yes. Princess is here. Hi, Princess Poppy. Hi, Princess Poppy. Oh, oh God. Yes. Mama got to. Yeah. Okay, here. Lay down. I'm going to lose some of that with that selvage and grab a different piece. I'm looking for just the right pieces. How are we doing? I'm not looking at comments. I'm just piecing. Whoop. My foot didn't. Hang on. Hi, Princess. Okay. All right. Yes, you good girl. Go here. Here's my assistant. I don't know how cooperative she's going to be today, but she's being kind of okay. Here, let me give you some hugs. Good girl. All right. I'm going to take this off of here. I'm going to go back over here. I have to get on a different filming arm. Let me pop it on. Whoops. There we go. All right. What are we on? So that, I think that was the end of that block. Mm-hmm. Yes, it was the end of that block. So let's go ahead and hang on. My screen got super dark. Let me make sure I'm plugged in. Pretty cute. Why my screen got dark, I don't know, because you guys look fine. You guys can see fine. Do you make the 4 patches with those squares? I didn't. So did you see how I started to do the 4 patches and I thought I was going to piece them traditionally? And then when I got there, I realized that it was in the hoop. So I'm just saving those for the, hang on a second, because for some reason, I don't know if it's auto-focusing and I can't get my screen to get brighter. Let me see. There we go. We're back. Okay. Let me go ahead and grab my stuff and we're going to get started with the next one. Sorry, shuffling between things. Sometimes lose my focus. Poppy. So we are back over here and I think we were done with that. Yes, it says finish embroidering. So next block we're going to do is stitch and spell. We are not auto-focusing either. Jeez, what am I doing here? Let me go into my settings button and see. Orientation, camera. Oh, dim screen automatically. No, we are turning that off. Okay, we should be better now. All right. Next one we're going to do is going to be stitch and spell in the 6x6. I'm just going to leave what we have in there right now because it's going to bump us to 6.5 by 6.5. And we are on page 28. Let's grab our fabric. I'm going to let Pops out. There you go, baby. And this one is stitch and spell. Let me grab my fabric. Here we go. So you're going to have this right here. Don't you love, like, I don't love the prepping, but I love being able to just grab and go. It's just nice. What is the light you have on? Don't bump the hoop. So the light I have on my machine is made by Caterpillar, and it is, I think it's the flex light. What's really nice is that you can buy holsters for it. So if you have like 3 different machines that need extra light, you just take the holster and it's got sticky back. You just stick it to your machine and you can take the light and put it on any machine. I'm actually going to turn it off right now so that I don't wear out the light. And it has a couple different settings as well. So let's go ahead and let's load this one into the machine. I'm going to bump up my stabilizer. Came out pretty cute. Love it on the purple. Glad I left the white in there. Glow in the dark would have been better. And I'm just going to continue to use this. I'm just going to move up my fabric. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off that pineapple because I like having one there the more you have, the more embroideries you have connected, the bigger chance you have of that fabric folding under. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my scissors. I like to cut from the back side so I can cut right in the middle. You don't want to cut too close to either design, especially sometimes you need that extra fabric. Maybe your fabric wasn't bumped down as much. Hello, sunshine. Don't let that confuse you. We're working on pumpkins and potions. This is also the kiss of death for me too. If I had left this there, it would have stuck to my fabric. I would have embroidered it down, and then I would have been like, where is that? Where's my fabric? And my little Claire fresh spider cider. And then at some point I would have discovered it's stitched down. I don't know if that's happened to you guys, but that's what happens to me. All right, it's 2 littles on the top. Two bigs on the side. And so I'm not pulling it super tight, just so it's taut. Oop, get your hand out of the way because you can get a little blister with this one too. Oh my goodness. Okay, we are hooked up and ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and slide this on my machine. And we're going to take that design and bump it all the way up to the top. So we can just keep using our muslin. Here we go. Let's load our next design. Grab your fabric that's prepped and ready to go. Oh, I should have moved my microphone. Let's put it back over here so you can hear. All right. What design are we doing? First, we're going to load our quilting design. Let me grab my light. Quilting design is Halloween 8. We are not autofocusing. Okay, let's see. What did I hit here? Nope. What's this button? Is that autofocus? What's ISO? Does anyone know what ISO? I'm just pushing all the buttons on my passcode, camera, show grid, dim, microphone. Oh no. Are you there? Whoop. Autofocus locked. Okay, I don't know how to turn that back on, but hopefully I can get it to autofocus. All right, I'm going to go home. We're going into embroidery. Let's load our background quilting first. Which hoop are you using for this, Jeannie? You've been seeing me use my 7x12 magnetic, and it's the one with the less beefy magnets. Not the 7x14, but the 7x12. We're going to go into pumpkins and potions. I'm going to go background quilting, and I want Halloween 8 6x6. Autofocus, please. Oh, geez. I'm really sorry about this. I do not know how to get my autofocus back on. I think I have to touch it. I'll have Patrick fix that for me. Halloween 8 6x6. Don't forget your format. Here's my 6x6. And my background quilting, all I have loaded there are the designs that are going to be in this quilt. We're going to add Stitch and Spell. Pumpkins and Potions folder. They're in my PES folder. And Sit and Spell. When we do the bats, we're going to do a ton of them. I don't know if you saw Dana's, but she did so many bats, and I feel like it looked so good. This is it. Go ahead and set it. And just leave the orientation that way. Or we could rotate it. I mean, it's just going to be square. We'll rotate it in the other screen. I don't think the background quilting makes a difference. So let's go ahead, and it wants it to be centered, so you don't have to move it up or down. We're just going to go ahead and touch embroidery, layout, rotate. I'm doing this because it's going to rotate the whole thing all together. And then let's bump it up. Hoops on, so I'm just going to go ahead and move it all the way up to the top. That way you're not wasting either stabilizer or muslin on the top and bottom. You're utilizing everything. And I think we are ready to go. For the background quilting, I'm going to be using, that is not autofocusing, Marmalade. So let's go ahead and stitch. I'm going to take out my white thread. Let's go ahead, and my white lives on my machine. I'm going to wind him up though so he's not hanging down. You know what? A bored dog is a bad dog. Miss Poppy is bored right now. What color should I put in there? Let's go with purple, because remember, you want a color that's going to contrast. And I will change it to marmalade in a little bit. But right now I'm going to do this. I'm wondering if... I'm sure Patrick would figure it out for me, but I don't know right now how to get that autofocus back on. I just hate when I can't figure out technology. Get out your backing. So you're going to have a 6x6 piece of batting and then your background fabric. And I want you to spray the wrong side of your batting and the wrong side of your background fabric. Sometimes it doesn't start spraying, and then when you do get spraying, see that dark thread there? Get rid of that so it doesn't shadow through. That's how I like it. Did you hear that? It was like barely anything coming out. Center this to your batting. You're going to have about 1 inch all the way around. And it doesn't matter if you had 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here. You just want a little bit so you can fussy cut and have a little extra around those edges. All right. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to skip some steps. So we're going to go down here and we're going to skip this. That's the batting tack down. That's the placement for the background. And we're going to do that. That's the tack down for the background. And like I said, choose a contrasting color so it's easier for you to fussy cut. Just tickle your fabric. Make sure your other block is not folded under. You just don't want it to be puckery. And now we're going to do the quilting stitch. Look at your screen. Make sure you see your quilting stitch. I'm going to put in marmalade. That's the color that it calls for. The design is like, oh yeah, it is. It is like that. I'm still shipping those out. A lot of you just bought them. And they sent them late, and they sent me most of them. We should have them all shipped by the middle of next week. Okay, here's the quilting stitch. September, Margaret, will be fine. You're still going to be early. It's so funny because I'm feeling like, wow, that's super bright. Our brightness. I obviously changed some settings and I don't even know how I did that. If you really want this to pop, the other thing you could do is you could do mango smoothie. I feel like mango smoothie, here I'm going to show you mango smoothie. marmalade. Focus. Marmalade, mango smoothie. So mango smoothie is a little bit lighter and I feel like it pops a little bit more. So it's up to you. I know, doesn't watching this make you want to stitch it? If you haven't gotten it yet, this is a new thing with, like I was able to buy Capuchere fabric kits a long time after Capuchere was out. They are doing smaller, more limited runs of these fabric kits. And they're big ones. We're not going to be cutting these in the store. So if you think you want to make pumpkins and potions, I would get your fabric kit, especially now. You know, if you want to get everything else later, we'll probably be able to get that. But the kits, I think there's, I told my rep, when there's 200 left, let me know, and then I'll do my final buy. Okay, what's happening next? Let me look at our instructions. So after the quilting, we're going to go to the embroidery. Oh my goodness! I do not know how to get this to autofocus. Hang on a second. Let me get out of here really quickly. Whoop. Are we there? Arian webcam. Continue. Maybe that fixed it. Okay, I'm hoping that fixed it. Color doesn't make a difference. Yeah, I think that fixed it. There we go. Load the embroidery file into the machine. We did that. Stitch the cauldron placement line. Place the cauldron fabric. Color doesn't make a difference. I'm just going to leave my marmalade in there. Place the cauldron fabric right side up. Where's my cauldron fabric? You should have a piece of black with shape flex on it. That's your cauldron. We're going to place this, and then we're going to stitch the cauldron tack down and trim the fabric close. It looks like the color it wants is shadow. I'm pretty sure the star, I still don't have it memorized. Yeah, it's dark gray is the shadow. I'm going to go ahead and put that in right now. So I'm going for shadow. I think I do want to start mixing some purple in too. Oh wait, sorry. This is the tack down, so I did the placement. I'm gonna just give this cauldron a little shot of spray. If it was my placement, I wouldn't worry about the stitch, but it's the tack down and you need it to hold it down. So I'm gonna lay it on top of this. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. This is how you go back to the beginning. That goes to the next step. This goes to the beginning of the step you're on. It did like 2 or 3 stitches, so I just want to make sure I have all of the tack down stitches to hold it down. And then we're going to trim. Because I have shape flex on the back of this, I need a little more heft. I want to use my new snips. Where are they? Well, I must have put them someplace else. So, since I don't know where they are, I'm just going to go ahead and use my regular double curve, which I love. I'm going to use these. And it says trim the fabric close to the stitch line. Down, close to the stitch line, spooky cauldron. if I can do my trimming without having to remove the hoop from the machine, that's always my goal. And if you watch me trim, I do trim with both hands. And I think I'm pretty good at trimming with my right hand because I am right hand dominant. I do everything with my right hand except for cutting. Cutting, I'm left hand dominant. All right, go ahead and slide that back on. Now it wants you to, we're going to do the banner. So it says stitch the banner placement line. It wants it to be in shadow if you're using the thread kit. And then stitch the banner tack down. So let's get your banner fabric. Your banner fabric is going to be this piece right here. You know what I think is funny? I think it's funny that they didn't have you put shape flex on the back of this. It said just the cauldron and the, I'm gonna be off screen. I'm gonna put shape flex on the back of this because I don't want the orange shadowing through. So give me just a second. Let me heat up my iron. I'm gonna put shape flex on the back. Shape flex on the back of my cauldron. Yeah, why wouldn't you? You're not seeing this because I don't feel like dragging my camera all the way over here. That to me is like, this is where I wouldn't want to see the cauldron's black. Maybe that was a mistake. Hang on, it's going to take a second. I'm just heating up my iron. If you don't have shape flex on the back of your cauldron, your banner, I would do that. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, my iron's still heating up. Okay, here we go. "15 seconds. 15 seconds. Okay, here we go. I just don't want that orange showing through. I think it should have been shape flex on the back of the banner and not the cauldron. Not that you don't need it on the cauldron too. You can absolutely put it on the back of the cauldron as well. All right, I'm going to give this a little shot of spray. Oops, sorry. There's Pops. She barks a little bit. She doesn't bark a ton. Momo really likes to bark. She gets bad. She's coming back in. All right, and then this is, we just did this. We placed the banner fabric right side up. Make sure you place it right side up and not shape flex side up. And then we're going to do the tack down. And then we're going to trim close to the stitch line. How are we all doing? Is everyone good? There, my autofocus is fixed. What's everyone working on? We all working on this? Then we're going to trim it up and we're going to do all our stitching. You are going to want to switch out to a black bobbin at some point, so make sure you have a black bobbin. The other thing it's asking for is you are going to be doing some fine lettering, and when you're doing fine lettering, it's kind of nice to use a fine line, like a 60 weight thread. So let's go ahead and trim this, right? Trim the fabric close to the stitch line. Okay, trim it up. It's our neighbor's anniversary tonight. Happy anniversary. Michelle and Alan. We're going to go out to dinner with them. Oh my goodness. So we talked to Kai this morning. He is doing a paper on, I don't know if any of you watch Breaking Bad, but he's doing a paper on whether or not Jesse and Walt are good people. I really didn't watch it. I watched some of it. Patrick watched the whole series. And I just thought it was so interesting. You know, we were talking with him this morning, and he was letting us know his thoughts on whether or not they were good or bad people. Okay, here we go. So, stitch the banner detail and decorative outline. Go ahead and slide it on. Leave in the shadow, and now it's going to go around the outline. And then you want to change your thread to black, and it's going to be the top and, top and the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my 60 weight thread to do that lettering. Miss Jen's working on pumpkins and potions. Miss Cheryl's binding a wall hanging. Nice. Watch Breaking Bad. I know. I think Breaking Bad is one of those shows that people, they couldn't stop watching it. It was so hard to watch, but you couldn't stop watching it at the same time. Let me grab my 60 weight thread. If you have 60 weight thread, grab it. One of my favorite blocks, and I love this block because I love all of this. I love all of this stitching. I just think it looks so incredible. So here's a 60 weight thread. I'm going to be using this for the lettering. That's going to make it pop, and it's going to make those lines look more fine. I equate it to like mascara. Like sometimes you can get some really gloppy mascara. This is going to make your mascara look like perfect and fine and beautiful. So I'm going to grab that, and you also want a black pre-wound bobbin. And your black pre-wound bobbin, for me, I use the Filtech bobbin, so it's going to also be fine thread in the bobbin area as well. Miss Linda's working on Hello Sunshine. Oh, I thought about that too, Liz. I thought about doing purple. Just to add some purple in. I thought about a purple cauldron, and I was like, I don't know, I just really like the look of the black for this. You could do 80 weight too. That would be like your deco bob. That's going to make it look really fine as well, even more fine. This is 5 minutes of stitching. I'm like barely into it. I'm like, I'd say I'm 40% into it. So I'm not going to take you over there, but I'm going to do some more piecing over here. And I'm just going to leave my camera focused in on the cauldron. And then I'll be back when we're ready to do the lettering. Okay, next step. Wow, that went faster than I thought. Oh, I guess I was close to being done. It wants you to, so we just did the banner, detail, and decorative stitch. Change the bobbin thread to match the top thread and stitch the Oh, this is a cauldron outline. So you know what? I am going to change the black thread, but I'm going to leave the, since it's not the lettering yet, I'm going to just do 40 weight thread on the top part. I'm going to go ahead and put in my bobbin. And change my upper thread out. And we're just going to put regular 40 weight in. Your regular embroidery thread is just a 40 weight. Fluff your fabric in the back. Make sure that that is not, that your bobbin, that you don't have fabric folded underneath your hoop. How are we doing on time? Is it really 11:30? We're doing great. We're doing great. We're going to get a lot done. Okay, here we go. This is the satin stitch on the cauldron. It's 3 minutes of stitching. Sorry, I can't stop piecing my back. Oh my goodness. Now we're going to put in the next stitching, the next thread, and let's make sure I'm not leading you astray. So we just stitched out the Cauldron satin outline. Now we're going to stitch and spell. I'm going to put a 60 weight thread so it'll pop. Let me put in my 60. You don't want gloppy mascara. So we carry fine line at the store. And if you want a Deco Bob is going to be, what is that coming out of there? Deco Bob is going to be 80 weight. It'll be even more fine. Here we go. Oh my goodness, look how good my mascara looks. Then we're going to change our thread back to white and we're going to stitch the star fills. So after it stitches this, back to white, we're going to stitch those stars right there. And then the bubbles, you could do that in like, I mean, if you wanted to do something like metallic thread, like King Star, that would look really great too. This is going to be the eyelet, so you're going to be using buttermilk. So white and then buttermilk, and then we're done with this one. I love these blocks. You're going to bling them up too. I know you're not going to believe this. I have never set rhinestones before. So anytime something has rhinestones, I bring it in. Michelle does it for me. So I'm going to be a big girl and put on my big girl pants. I'm going to try and do my own rhinestones. I even have a rhinestone setter. I just have never used it. Have fun, Miss Margaret. Go enjoy that lake. And then you're going to trim all those threads. You got to trim those threads to make it look really good. You don't want to have those jump threads carry. If it's less than 5 millimeters, it carries the jump thread. Otherwise, your machine usually cuts all of that. And next block after this one is going to be, what are we doing next? We are doing, oh, the ghost. You're going to need your gauze. I think that one has gauze in it. All right, switch back to your, whatever your neutral colored bobbin is. I'm using the white bobbin. So I'm going to switch that out. Fluff your fabric too. Here we go. Let me pop this in here. Put in your white, and it wants to stitch the star fill. I'm going to take my 60 weight thread out of the top. Sometimes you don't want a 60 weight because you won't have, it won't fill as well. But for fine detail, that's when you're going to use it. All right, let me get my white thread. I don't know about where you guys are, but I mean, there's so many fires right now on the West Coast. And it's funny because in Reno, it hasn't felt like a bad fire season because we haven't had much smoke, but the smoke's coming in now. Okay, this is the star fill. This is step number 8. You've got a minute of stitching. And then we're going to do the bubbles. That's also going to be in white. And then we'll switch to buttermilk. And let me grab my next fabric pack. Oh no, Shelly! doing something the other day and I didn't fluff my muslin and it got stitched under. Wasn't a big deal because it was close to the edge. But sometimes we need little reminders like that, even as seasoned embroiderers, that you need to fluff your fabric. Like, that to me is just like a wake-up call. Like, hey, fluff. I'm going to get my ghost. And I'm going to get my gauze. And if you didn't buy the embellishment kit, you could probably use real gauze or else cheesecloth. One of those. That's when you get creative, right? I cannot wait to see what you're embroidering, Miss Sonder. I can't wait. You always come in with such great stuff. Uh-oh. Okay. You want to come up here? Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on, Mama's lap. Okay. Here you go. Here you go. Come on. Okay. All right, Bubbles, just go ahead and hit start again. Here you go. There. This is why I switched to the ottoman, because this little girl just wants to like sit on your lap. Keeps you company. Attacks my thread. I've lost many a spool of pretty thread to her chompers. There are the bubbles. Let's get your buttermilk ready. Do we have to do anything special for the buttermilk? Let me see. Buttermilk, doesn't that make you want to have like pancakes or something? Okay, let's go ahead and put in our buttermilk. Alrighty. I'm gonna take out my white thread. We're gonna put in our buttermilk, and we are gonna stitch out the little stars. If you really wanted something darker or brighter, you could use your King Star metallic thread. You could use, I think sand looks a lot like gold too. But I feel like this quilt is meant to be a little bit more, I don't want to say elegant and muted. And this is going to need 2 minutes of stitching. then we're going to get hooped up for the ghost. So we are doing ghost 1. If you need a bathroom break, this is your chance. Anytime there's a lot of stitching going on, that's your bathroom break. Page 25. Ghost is, let's see how big he is. He's going to be 4 by 6, so let's go 5 by 7. We're going to go in our 5 by 7 magnetic hoop. Mine just happens to be all ready to go. If yours is not, get it ready right now. But my 5 by 7 is hooped and ready to go. So hoop up your muslin, or if you're using no-show mesh. I always use muslin. People ask why. I like the way it feels. It's pliable. I buy the 90-inch muslin. You can always buy a bolt from us at the store. We sell it on, I know it sounds like a lot. I want to say it's 25 yards. But if you've had a bolt, you're doing Kimberbell quilts, and you're using it, my bobbin's almost running out, and you're using it as your, I don't call it stabilizer because I feel like it is not a good stabilizer. There is not a, ooh, what just happened there? There's not a lot of support with the muslin, but I use it as a base. And I use it as a base when, I'll just toss that. When you're going to have, your background fabric has shape flex on it. So that's going to give you support. And then you have the batting in between. So that's going to give you support too. But it's not going to be like the appropriate stabilizer used sometimes. I still use stabilizer. And I'm going to go back 10 stitches and lever. I think it's really cost effective now too. So it's $10.99 for a yard, but I think I have it on the website. If you want to buy a bolt, we do it 30% off. You do have to pay for shipping, but you could also split it with a friend. I know in the beginning when I was just starting out, my friend Sage and I would split everything. We get a box of bobbins, she'd get half, I get half. Get a bolt of anything, she'd get half, I get half. I know, Betty, it didn't even feel like a bad fire season. And then Patrick showed me a picture of all the fires that were happening. And I was like, I couldn't even believe it. Like, it seems like all of Oregon is on fire. In California. Is this like the cutest block ever? I just love it. And you're going to rhinestone it. Those little centers are going to get your rhinestones. You're going to put on your big girl pants, just like me. We're going to put on some rhinestones. And we are done. I'm hooped up already. I'm just going to take this off and bring it over here. If ever I'm going too fast, I'm sorry. The recordings are really nice too because you can always just pause those as you go. So here's my 5 by 7. Whoops. And look, it is asking me to change to a larger embroidery frame because this is still up. So I just took my hoop off and I'm going to go home. And now I'm going to go into embroidery. And now I can load my design. So I'm going to go here. And what quilting design are we doing? We are doing Ghost, which is Halloween 11, 4 by 6 vertical. Background quilting, Halloween 11. And I've already forgotten. 4 by 6 vertical. It's almost 12, so we're doing good. 4 by 6. Horizontal always comes up. I can't say always, but usually it's horizontal and then vertical. So get the vertical. That's going to be the second one. We're going to add. And we're going to add Ghost 1. Ghost, I think that's Ghost. Yep, this is Ghost 1. Go ahead and set. And Ghost 1 is centered, so we don't have to move it anywhere. Let's choose our hoop size. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to choose my 5 by 7. Let's see what speed. I wonder if it I'm sliding on my hoop up. So it bumps you down to 900 stitches per minute, which is still really fast and wonderful. Let's go embroidery. And I mean, you don't have to, but I have a little bit of room. I'm just going to bump that up, move. Might as well, right? And we are ready to stitch. So let's go ahead and I already have buttermilk in here. Let's use that. That's going to be our background, our placement stitch for our batting. Yes, if you get behind, you can always just go and watch it. And some people aren't gonna find this. They're gonna be it's gonna be 5 years from now, and they're gonna go, oh my god, I just found Kimberbell and I want to make this quilt, and they might find the video to walk them through it. So I love it. I was talking to Tina yesterday about how it was just this, like, because a lot of you found us through our videos, and I started filming those during, I think it was during the pandemic. I was like, you know what, I'm filming them anyway. Okay, wrong side, nubby side. It's the side that has all the little bumpy bumps. Okay, that's what you're gonna spray. I started doing them as paid for classes because it's a lot of work. And it's a lot of filming, and I was filming it like on my own time. And then I got to the point where I was like, you know what? Everything's so expensive. And a lot of you get your stuff from us. And I was like, let's just make them free videos. Plus, sometimes you've got things like Poppy barking in the background. And I like things to be perfect. So they're not always perfect. And I was like, okay, we'll just make these free videos and we'll just stitch together. And the other thing is, at this point, I don't stitch this ahead of time. When I'm doing this, this is the first time I've done it. I'm going to leave my buttermilk in there. We're going to skip some steps. So, but I've done so many at this point that usually the videos are okay. All right. Sometimes there's a note that says, warning, this video's not good. Okay, this is tack down for the batting. We don't need that. Placement stitch, tack down for the background fabric. We are going to do this one. And I love the sew alongs because it keeps me on track. It keeps me stitching. Makes me accountable. It was funny because my rep came in yesterday and we were talking about how much of our business is local and how much of our business is from out of town. So I went through like a page of our online website, and I was like, oh, out of town, local, out of town. And I like know you guys. Like I know, and sometimes I know, oh, this is somebody I don't know that well. This is somebody that's new, but we have a lot of OGs that, you know, we've been friends for a long time now. Okay, so if you look at your screen, it wants to do the quilting stitch, and it calls for black, and that's what I have on the spreadsheet. Yes, I know you. I know your names. I know where you live. I know your children. I know your husbands. Oh, thank you, Miss Heather. Heather just posted a link to the muslin. I think I have one bulk in the store. Sometimes it's a special order. Yes, Johnny, I put your oops. Okay. I'm getting pin dotting. I can see it and I don't like it. I'm going to go ahead and change up my bobbin. I'm going to put a black bobbin. I'm not going to go back and undo these stitches because it wasn't that much. But for this, and it doesn't mean anything's wrong with your machine. sometimes you get a pin dot. I'm going to change it to black. So if you're using, and maybe add a note in there. Let me go back 10 stitches. I should have looked right away, but I just changed out my bobbin thread, and you're not going to notice it. And plus, the ghost is going to go over most of this, but that is much better. I don't know if you can see that. Pin dotting of the white bobbin, and now perfect black and black. So if you do get a pin dot, once you change your bobbin, it's just going to be the black underneath. Sometimes it's just the hole that the needle is making. Change your bobbin though. Did I finish telling you, Duane, what I was telling you? I sent out your tote and I put all your goodies inside your bag. I checked twice. So everything should be there. Just go down deep in the bag, and your rotary cutter is in there too, and you're gonna be such a queen when you're cutting. I need one of those. I'm gonna treat myself. I got one for all the girls in the shop, and I still haven't treated myself to a super special rotary cutter. White bobbin, black bobbin. You see that? After we do this, we're going to stitch the ghost placement line. It's telling me color doesn't make a difference, but I am going to go ahead. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll look ahead for the next color that is going to make a difference, which is going to be this one, which I think is marmalade. But I don't want any pin dot or some. I mean, sometimes your fill isn't perfect, so I'm going to go ahead and put in white. It's doing what? This is a good time for your glow in the dark thread. I'm going to take my black out. I'm going to change my bobbin back too. Bobbin, do 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 do. Bobbin boat. It's calling for white, right? Not linen. Okay, here we go. Threading it up. Color doesn't make a difference, but it's the placement for the gauze, so I'm just going to put in the white. Here's my gauze. And it says, let's read our instructions. Stitch the ghost placement line. Place the ghost fabric and the two ghost overlay gauze pieces right side up and tape in place. So you want to have a double layer. Okay, so this gauze, it's kind of like in a tube. Like I was just looking at it going, is this a double layer? So I just kind of pulled it apart. There we go. And it's in a tube. So, place the ghost fabric and the two ghost overlay gauze pieces right side up. So I don't know if they want me to double it over. Let's see how much we need. So the ghost is 4 inches by 5.5 inches, but we need this for another ghost. Let's see if we folded this over. I just want to make sure we have enough for the other one. And then we laid it down. Are you gonna have enough? Did somebody do this? Did you do that? Let me look at the, I just want to make sure. I don't want to not use enough or use too much and not have enough. So the gauze, you need 5 by 8. So we won't have enough if we do that. The other one is 5 by 8 inches. And this one is 4 by 5.5. So it's one single layer. Well, it's the tube. So it is 2 layers. There is a white. Oh, am I supposed to put down a white piece of fabric? There is a white piece of fabric. Oh. Okay, Kim's telling me there's a white piece of fabric. Am I supposed to put... Oh, Kim, thank you. Oh my goodness. Yes, it calls it white. It's gauze overlay. Okay, so we're supposed to put this down first. This is royal icing. Make sure you have shape flex side down. What's this mess? So let's make sure I'm doing this right. Stitch. Place the ghost fabric. There we go. Thank you, Kim. And the 2 ghost overlay gauze pieces right side up and tape in place. All right, so I'm going to give this a little shot of spray. Make sure you're putting it shapes flex side down and that you don't have any dark threads. It takes a village. And yes, sometimes I make mistakes. Did you guys watch the large pineapple? Because I was like, okay, cut through all 3 layers. And then I was like, count your layers. Make sure you cut through all of them. And I kept getting 2. And then finally I realized, oh, you did not lay down the 3rd layer. But it was fine. It came out great. Okay, I'm going to put this down. I'm going to give it a little shot of spray. A little bit, because I don't want it to like soak up through. And I'm not going to cut. I'm not going to cut it down. A lot of times when I do my embellishments, I do not trim them beforehand. I just lay them down. Where's my ghost? We'll just put him down and cover this whole thing. Oh my god, he's so spooky. Oh, you know what? I wonder, I can see that 2 part, and I'm just going to leave it. But I think there is like a right and a wrong side of this. Okay, that's good enough. And then stitch the ghost tacked-on line. Color doesn't make a difference, but I'm going to leave the white in. And let me put this here just in case I need to stop it, in case something goes awry. There we go. Looks good. Thank you, Miss Kim, for throwing up that comment. I need help sometimes. So if you see me doing something wrong, throw in that comment. Do not trim the gauze at this time. You're going to stitch the leaf detail, and it's calling for the orange with the triangle, which is going to be your darker orange, which is going to be marmalade. So go ahead and leave that gauze on there. It says do not trim it at this time. Did I read that right? Yes. Do the leaf detail, put it in your marmalade. You're supposed to starch it open. What does that mean? I was supposed to starch it? Did I mess up? I did not do that. Okay. Yes, everyone is telling me I was supposed to starch it. Oh, look at this. Oh, well, mine's not going to be starched. So it says here, saturate the gauze with heavy starch prior to beginning the block. Lay flat to dry. So what happened if I don't do that? Is it going to make a difference? Because it's on. I'm not starching it. What happens with the starch? Does it make it so? Is it supposed to be extra special? Sorry, guys. All right. I didn't starch. So mine might not look extra special like yours looks. We'll starch it for the next one because I think we have 3 more ghosts. So now you get an example what not to do, and then our village is telling us what to do. Did it make it like really stiff? And does it make a difference, do you think? Tell me if you think it made a difference to starch it or not starch it. Because if it doesn't, I'm not going to starch the other ones either. Here we go. We're going to stitch the leaves. And then we're gonna get our black and we're gonna do some more stitching, or some more leaf fill. So if you don't starch it, it's gonna shred. I'm gonna see how it goes. I'll starch the next one, then we'll be able to compare. What happens if you don't starch compared to what happens if you do starch? I've never used gauze before. I love it. I love the look. And I'm glad, Kim, you got me to use that underlay. Or this is our overlay. Miss Deborah didn't starch hers either. We've got a satin stitch. We've got a satin stitch around it, so I think we're gonna be okay. To starch or not to starch? That is the question. And it looks like those who don't read their instructions beforehand didn't starch like me. Okay, this is an airy stitch. I'm going to go ahead and just leave my white bobbin. And I'm going to put in my black and see how it looks. I'm going to watch it. And if I go, oh, that looks bad, I'll stop it right away and switch my bobbin. But if I don't have to, because you don't always have to. I think it was the black on the black that made that really kind of stand out and go, ooh, I needed to. So I'm looking, paying attention. It's fine. You're fine with your... Yeah, I'm fine with my white. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I'm okay. We're going to see how these, I think I'm going to go double curved little scissors, because you've got to trim through the fabric, the shape flex, and the 2 layers of gauze. And I was looking for my new snips. I ordered some of those in case you liked them if you saw those. I don't know where they are. Okay, we're going to trim through all of our layers, right? Carefully trim the fabric and the gauze. So we're going to go through all our layers. I got to get this thread too. Oh my goodness. Does that just look so good? I love it. Don't get too aggressive. You're going to have a nice satin stitch that's going to go over all of this. Sometimes I get aggressive and I accidentally cut my stitch. And if you do cut your stitch, that's going to be okay too, because like I said, you're going to have a nice satin stitch. My friends, I'm flying by the seat of my pants at all times. So there was no soaking of the gauze. my baby boy is going to be home soon. I've got, he leaves, it's Friday. Is it Friday there for him? Was it nighttime? He's leaving Saturday, and his Saturday is, we called him this morning, right? So it was nighttime for him. And I can't believe he's coming home, my baby boy. And then Violet decided, she said, I know it's, oh my goodness, is that so cute? I think it's so cute. I just love it. They're so clever. All right, it wants you to do the satin stitch outline. Let me make sure that's what we're doing. Yes, and we're gonna do that in white. The white is such a good contrast to that cream. So let me put the white in. 6 minutes of stitching. I could do some piecing, right? My cutter, I feel like on my left-hand side is a little bit dull. Oh, Miss Deborah, I'm so happy we got you the right hoop. Deborah just got the 7x12 magnetic, which is what I was using for stitch and spell. And it's just so nice. I just love it. Yeah. I mean, I've always loved the regular hoops. And if you took it away, I'd be fine. But there's something just so nice about it. I love like hooping up with it. I love the magnets. I love that you could just take off one magnet and just adjust part of it. Yeah, and so this is the baby, the 5x7 is the mommy. And there is a 4x4 as well. So if you wanted that, I could give you a price on that. But this one, for the Brothers sale, if you want to get on the list for this, it'll be $179.99 instead of $513.99. And then the 7x12 is normally $599.99. That makes you like choke, right? But for the sale, it'll be $369.99. There we go. Let's stitch out that satin stitch. I think it was fine. I don't know if I'm going to even starch the other one. I should, right? Just to check it out. 12:15. We're going to do one more block after this, and then I think I'm going to film the rest. So the next block after we do this one is Itsy Bitsy Problem. Or should we do Flying Geese? I'll film Flying Geese. We're going to do Itsy Bitsy Problem. That's going to be on page 12. And then I'm going to get to the store. And your homework. Homework, homework, homework. So what we're doing right now is we're going to go ahead. We did this. We're going to do this one. I will film this. Your filler block should all be done. You're going to trim and sew it all together. And then you are going to do section 2. This is already done. Filler block is done. This block is done. So you're going to be doing this. And you should have part A of this one already done. So not too bad. And it's so fun because these blocks are so much fun too, right? But once you're done with all of those, and I will film mine, you are going to trim them and sew these all together. This whole section should be done. This whole section should be done. Next week when we get together, I will send you an email to let you know whether we're getting together on Thursday or Friday. Most likely it's going to be Friday. The only reason it won't be Friday is actually, no, it'll be Friday. We're going to stitch on Friday. we're going to do sections 3 and 4. That's going to be homework. Okay? If you can't stop yourself and you want to stitch with us, but you want to get ahead too, then we'll work on this Friday, and this will be homework. So just go ahead and do sections 1, 2, and 4. Do whatever you want. You can just show up and like stitch with us and work on whatever you want to work on. I love my sew-alongs with you because they're loosey-goosey. They're whatever you want to be, whatever you want to do. Kai is coming home from Korea. So he stayed there. He left earlier than me. He left on the 15th of June, and he is coming home on the 3rd. So my baby will be stateside again. He does not like flying. That kid struggles with flying. He always gets sick. He dreads it. He gets anxious. He used to have panic attacks when we flew, but he's doing much better, so I always get anxious for him. You know how you worry about your baby. I'm going to get my next block. This always feels so good to me too. Done! Now we can just put this away. So I always love doing that too. I don't think we're quite done with this ghost though, right? Because we need to do what? Does he have a face or eyes or something? He's got eyes. So after we do this, we're gonna do shadow. So this is shadow, the one with the star in it. Stitch the eye and mouth, they'll remove the block. So I am going to match my bobbin just to make sure we don't have anything peeking up through there. I think it'll be totally fine, but I'll put my black bobbin back in. Or dark gray, whichever. Oh my god, it's so cute. And look at, does this look so pretty here too? And who cares about that quilting that we started in the beginning that didn't have the black bobbin, because most of it's behind this ghost anyways. Nobody's going to be looking. Okay, I'm going to change out my bobbin because I can. Then I don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to show through. Sometimes I just change it out. I go, you know what? I'm going to do black with black. But a lot of times, lazy. I don't feel like changing my bobbin. Okay, shadow. If you want to do black, you can do black. What kind of classes did he take? I think that's what it says. So he's a civil engineering major. He took some of his core classes because I don't know if you've known engineering majors before. It is a lot of work. Like his roommate is a film major. And, like, you know, Kai will talk about how he has to watch a movie. Not that that's not a tough major, too. But I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot more rigorous being an engineering major. So he's doing some of his course, so his class load will be a little bit lighter. So he did a class, I don't even know what classes he took. I think he did biology. I think he took biology. And then he did, I don't even know what they're called. Like one class I think was, I don't even know. I would be making it up if I tried to, like, I know that he did one class where it was really geared towards his travels over there. And it was geared towards Incheon and how that is a smart city. Like how that city was built and the smart features of that city, like the cameras and the streets and the way they collect trash. Like it was geared towards that. And then the class that he's doing right now, there's a lot of writing. I think it's I don't know what this class is either. I know some of the assignments, but I don't know what it's called. Yeah, engineering's a tough major. Oh my goodness. Is this little ghost so sassy? Look at him. Look at him being all spooky. I love it. All right, next one. We are doing Itsy Bitsy Problem 6 by 6. So guess what? We got to go back to our 7 by 12 hoop. And it's 6 by 6, so I think we can go right down to the bottom. This is why you want to fluff your fabric. If you just slide it on just like this, this guy gets stitched up. Does that purple look so good? All right, let's hoop. Let's have a sip of coffee. We're going to bust out one more embroidery, and then I'm going to go to the store. Let's take off our magnets. Deborah, I'm so happy you're loving this hoop. It's so great. I'm going to cut this one off because I don't want to ruin it by accident. I should hoop up before I go to the store and have it do all this stitching for, you know that's taking your chance. You know that's when something's going to go wrong. When you leave your embroidery machine. Not your multi-needle. That doesn't need as much babysitting. Okay, I don't have that much fabric left, so I'm going to go ahead and hoop it down here on the bottom. And I'll bump my design down to the bottom. I'll take a picture to make sure it's not stitching up there. Taut, but not stretched. Or not, you want it taut, but not stretched. Yes. Oop. Oh my goodness, it looks amazing. Here we go. I'm gonna put my design down here. And here's my little ghost with my unstarched gauze, and I think he looks pretty good. All right. Oh, do I need to find the right, is it Itsy Bitsy? Is that what we're doing right now? Right? Yes, Itsy Bitsy Problem. Oh my goodness, look how cute that is. I'm going to change my bobbin out because I have my, sorry. Hopefully I'm not making you seasick when I move my filming arm. I'm going to go say okay to that before I load my design, or before I put my hoop on, I'm going to load my design. And, hi Miss Debbie Brown. Good to see you. Okay. Itsy Bitsy Problem, Halloween 9. Oh, uh-oh, here comes Pops. Let me move my stuff out of the way before she jumps all over everything. Mommy's almost done. Mommy's almost done, baby girl. Okay, come on. Come on up. Ow! Oh, jeez. Okay. Come on. Okay, get up. Get up, Chunky. Okay, here we go. Sorry. There's Pops. Okay, Itsy Bitsy Problem. Halloween 9. Here we go. Okay, hang on. Pops, just a little longer. Just a little longer. Itsy Bitsy Problem Halloween 9, and we are doing the 6x6. Here we go. Set. Let's load the next design. PES. Itsy Bitsy. Here we go. There's my Itsy Bitsy set. That's going to be centered. And let's choose our hoop size. I'm going to go in here. And I'm going to select my 7 by 12. And I'm going to scoot it all the way up. Touch embroidery first because it'll combine your design. Layout, move. I'm going to put my hoop on. She stepped on it. I might need to hoop again. No, it still looks okay. Oh, look. And then I talked about changing my bobbin, but I didn't. Slide it on. I'm going to take a picture so that I can make sure I don't hit that orange up there. Here's my camera button. You have the camera button, 2 spots. So, and this camera is real-time camera. This will take a picture of what's in the hoop. If you want, you can take that picture. This is my layout screen. If I hit return, here's my main edit screen. I've got the camera button there too. Again, not that camera, this camera. So you can take a picture of what's in your hoop on your main edit page as well as your layout page. So I'm going to hit my camera. Make sure you have enough room. So I'm going to hit scan. This hoop's going to move all over, so you don't want it to hit my spray bottle, my mic in the back. Oop. Okay, it almost hit. There we go. I barely have to move this at all. I can just scoot it down a little bit. So you want to get this off of your screen, hit close, and then I can go layout, move, and then scoot it down. And then I can see where, what am I going to do with this down here? Nothing, right? But of course it's me, so I can't waste. So that looks perfect. I'm going to go ahead and say okay. Layout shows me what we're stitching out. And I'm going to go to this screen where I can go forward and backward stitches. I'm just going to hit start, and it's going to do the placement stitch for my batting. Let Poppy out. She's getting fired up. You want to go out? There you go, princess. All right. What am I doing? I don't even remember. Oh, itsy bitsy. Do you ever have those conversations with yourself where you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing? Oh my goodness. Empty. Peel that off. Doesn't that feel like good? You're like, I haven't even finished this yet, but I'm starting it. And I just have these right behind me in my cabinet. Spray tent, where are you? Right here, right next to me. There's my nubby side. See how it's all bumpy and nubby? That's the wrong side. Spray that side and stick it down. And we sell that spray in the store. It's Gnold KK100. I'm going to lay this down too. Give it a little shot of spray. Just center it to your batting. It doesn't have to be perfect because Kimberbell is very generous with the amount of fabric that it has you cut. There we go. And you can feel, like I can feel. There, you can see it. All right, now it wants you to do, well, it wants you to do the tack down for the batting, but you don't need that. Or the placement for the background because you laid it down. We do need that. Tack down for the background. And I charcoal in there or shadow. I'm going to just leave that. I'm going to tickle my fabric. And tickle it down here. You just want to make sure. You don't want to be pushing and pulling your muslin. So don't be too aggressive. But you just want this to lay nice and flat. There we go. Now we're just going to follow our instructions from our book, which is across the room. Hang on. I just received... Oh my goodness, Miss Debbie, I'm just reading your comment. Wow. Well, that's a good trade, right? That's a good trade. My brothers collect comic books. I have and baseball cards. Who knows what they have in their collection? They just left it at my dad's house, so I don't even know if, they know what's there anymore. But they do talk about, I'm turning to page 12, they talk about how, I don't know if you guys did this, but we used to flip baseball cards. Like, we would lean them against the wall and then take the other ones and fling them and try and knock the card down. And they talk about some of the cards that they used to, like, good cards. Okay, so after quilting, go to the embroidery instructions. So we just did our tack down. We're going to do the quilting. The quilting is in sterling. So I'm going to take this out. That's exciting. I have enough for magnetic. Should you get the 5x7? So the two sizes, if you're talking about these hoops, they come in, there's 4x4, 5x7, and 7x12. That's a hard decision because I really use my 7x12 and my 5x7 a lot. And the where's my sterling? The 5x7's a lot cheaper. With our sale price, it's going to be a lot cheaper. So, part of me goes 7x12 because you can fit everything in a 7x, like the 4x6s, you could flip. Like, instead of going vertical in your 5x7, you can flip them and go horizontal in your 7x12. And everything you can fit in your 5x7 fits in the 7x12, but everything that fits in the 7x12 doesn't fit in the 5x7. I'd have to go 7x12 if I had to choose one. But I sure do love my 5x7. Okay, here we go. It's doing the quilting stitch. Wait a minute here. Is that right? Yes, it is. Okay. I was getting confused because I was thinking spider web. But this is right. This is Halloween 9 6x6. This one's going to be a fast one. I don't think there's any appliquing or anything. We're just going to be stitching. Stitching. It's 14 minutes of stitching. That'll be perfect. And then I'll just get to the store. My goodness, it's beautiful. So after we do the quilting, we're going to switch to white and we're going to stitch the web detail. And there will be some changing of bobbins. You'll need a black bobbin. Oh my god, my fabric is literally sitting on my machine half pieced. This is 4 minutes of stitching. I'm going to do some piecing for my back. Mama, play frisbee with me before we go. All right. Now you want to put in your white. It's going to do this spider web detail. Sterling comes out. Okay, here's my white. Okay. This is 4 minutes of stitching. I'm going to go give Poppy a peanut butter mat. I'll be right back. Come on. Let's go get peanut butter. cute. Okay, now I've just been over here piecing away like crazy. And then I'm going to get all my pieces put together. So now we're going to go ahead, change out the bobbin. We're going to stitch the spider detail. And there is some word stitching. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I will change out my thread to 60 weight. So everything looks nice and crisp and perfect. So we're nearing the end of this, but that's kind of good, right? Let's get rid of it. I always feel good when I finish a bobbin. And I do, like with the pre-wound bobbins, I do throw them away when I'm done. Just because I went to a training once and with Nikki Brazel, and she was like, those are like the cheapest, nastiest bobbins. Just get rid of them. She's like, why are you reusing those? Because they do, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but they can get cloudy and splinter. But at the same time, I probably did reuse those bobbins for like years. So if you choose to reuse them, that's totally fine if they're working for you. I would just have probably 8 million bobbins at this point if I was reusing all my pre-rounds. Okay, spiders first and then lettering. And those were the spiders. Now it wants to do the lettering stitching, so I'm going to just stitch that out too. What happened? Okay, let's go back. Let me rethread my upper. And if it starts stitching again, then we're good to go. And then if it doesn't, then I'll rethread my bobbin too. Okay, looks like we didn't get any of our last letter. So I'm going back 10s, and now I'm on my P, and I'm going to go fast forward by 1s until it bounces over, which it just did. You know what? Let's just check the bobbin right now. Oh, bobbin's still attached. Okay. And then I'll show you what I have done for my Okay, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek too of what I have sewn together over here. Let me see. And it's not even totally sewn together, but you'll get an idea. Okay. So this is what I have going on with my, I'm going to have to pop my camera out. Whoops. Hang on. Whoops. There we go. So I just have been just sewing pieces together. And then as I sew them together, I just sew bigger sections to bigger sections until the whole thing is all used up, and I'll have a beautiful backing. But this is the start of the back. All right, just so you get like a little idea of how I do that. I was thinking at some point I'll have to do like a time-lapse one where I just show you how I do the whole thing. Have not even looked at comments at all. I'm so sorry. That was it. There is our itsy bitsy. Look at those spiders. Yeah, I think you really need that 60 weight because those little legs are so fine. And those look like super realistic to me. So we are done. We are 6 minutes early. I'm going to go to the store. You got a little idea of how I piece together my back. There it is. That's the start of it. And I just keep like laying it together and adding fabric to make it fit. I'm going to look at your comments really quickly. Placed in order. Okay, and we'll add that to, we'll add the little bag that you won. Miss Jacqueline, I'm glad that you found us too. We mean about how I have some things. There are about 2 dozen. Ooh, Miss Debbie, get on it with those. That's like a treasure trove, right? So, homework. You guys know what you need to do. So we almost finished. We already did our filler blocks. So the only thing you have left to do for section 1 are the flying geese. And actually, this one isn't even until section 5, so you don't have to do it. I always like to just bust them both out. Because I'll be in flying geese mood, I won't have to really think too hard. I feel like if I do this one and then I wait until section 5, then I have to think really hard. How do I do that again? So I like to, when they're similar blocks, I like to just go ahead and do them all at once. And then you're gonna be working on this section 2 here. It'll be probably pretty straightforward. You already have part A done of this. And that's going to be it. And then next week, I'll send out an email. I'll make some out. Once I finish all my homework, that's when I like to send it out because I can see if there's any mistakes I made. So I'll finish up my homework. I'll send you the videos and we'll confirm that we're getting together next Friday. But just keep working on this. Don't fall behind on this one. This one's not going to be a UFO for sure. And we will get to those other quilts at some point. So thanks so much for joining me. This will get posted. I think it takes a little while, but it'll get posted to YouTube. I'll put it into the playlist. There is a playlist. And then, was there anything else? I don't think so. Yeah, I will see you then. I'll be at the store if you need anything. And at the very latest, we'll see you next week to finish this up. Bye, guys. Oh, I did forget something. If you like the videos, don't forget